Welcome. It's great to have you here with us today. My name is Brenda Prinzavalli, and following is an interview by Sharon Michaels on her program called Women Enjoying Success. This is part 2 of 4.
So, for example, if you are really great at doing tasky things first thing in the morning, but you can only do them for a short period of time, then schedule those tasky things that you really don't like to do that are maintenance or that are just kind of the regular everyday. Do it first thing in the morning, do it for a short period of time, and you're done. The other thing is that find when you're then on the opposite side for the move forward, when is it that you're the most creative? When is it that you're the most willing to put a risk into your future and your life? When is it that you want to do some exploring for what are the other possibilities, and schedule those. For some people that might be first thing in the morning, that might be late at night. Sometimes after a long day and your mind, you're able to think about all the possibilities because you've had a variety of experiences throughout the day. But again, decide when you're best at those different types of tasks. Morning or evening or the middle of the day or right after lunch or before lunch or after coffee or whatever it might be. And then also the duration. Can you do tasks for a short period of time? Or are you the type of person that once you get started, you are just going to keep going and it doesn't matter how long it takes you, but you're going to go all the way until you're done. So those are the last two things that really, really help individualize how you can create balance in your life.
And I know so many of us with so many irons in the fire and so many different things that are tugging on us, balance is just the key right now. Balance is giving us peace of mind.
Good. Good.
And let me ask you this. When you were talking about going forward and doing maintenance, and I'm kind of looking at them as a project. What's your formula for organizing, let's say, a work or a home project that we know we need to get done and we've been procrastinating because it just seems so overwhelming? What would you suggest we could use as a formula?
Well, there's a process that I have created, and it's, again, I don't believe it's anything new, but there are 5 steps that I tend to follow when I go and address any organizing project. And that is how to create systems for things. And they're so important. Systems are just so critical because, most people, in the executive arena and people in the business arena, they waste up to 6 weeks per year searching for documents that they've lost or misplaced. And when you look at the amount of time that absorbs and the amount of dollars that's actually taking out of your pocket, it really, really sets the ground for why it is important to create systems and organization. And one of the funny things is that when I'm working with clients and I ask them, I say, okay, well, so you want to organize, let's say, your business cards and that type of thing. When you have new business cards, you go to networking events and such. And I say, what system do you have for that? And they go, well, I don't really have a system for that. And many people feel as though that they don't have systems and organization already set up. But here's the good news and the not so good news. The good news is that no matter what you do, you actually do have a system set up. And the bad news is it just might be that system is not very effective for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to make some adjustments. And there are 5 steps that I've found that you need to step all the way through these 5 steps to create organization, whether it is in a space or it's in a process or it's in something that you're going to do. And the very first thing is that you need to sort and list. And people are really, really good at this when it comes to saying, oh, I'm going to organize this, whether it's organizing their, like I said, their process for returning from a networking event and they have a lot of business cards, or they take on that closet at home that they say, oh, I'm going to organize this closet. And the sorting process is very easy. People get it out, and you just decide, what are you going to keep, what's going to go away, what do you need to decide on. And so that sorting is a very easy process for people, and that's when you assess also the actions that you do, making a list of, okay, so if I'm doing this process that I'm going to create a system for, what are the different things that I do and what are the different things that I have to do? So sorting it out and making a list is the first step. And a lot of people will do that. And then what they end up doing is they take all those different stacks of paper or all the things that they've pulled out and sorted, and they just simply put them back. And that's a danger because you haven't really fully created either the environment or the process that's going to best support you. So that's where you do step number 2. And step number 2 is to survey. That's where you sit back and you look at the things that you have, you look at the process that you want to do, and you say, how much space do I have available? What tools am I going to actually need to do this the most efficiently? Do I need any technology? Is there anything missing? Do I need to go buy some organizing bins? A lot of people are overloaded in going out and buying organizing bins or buying some tools. But, what is it? What is it that I need to do at this point? And what is it that I'm missing? So once you do that survey process, and it's really a lot of questioning. You question yourself. What works? What doesn't work? What are the missing pieces? Who do I need to have help me? What technology do I need? And so then step 3 is when you start looking at solutions based on your answers. So you say, okay, if that's not working for me and I need technology, what kind of program do I need? Do I know anybody that's using that kind of program? Let me ask them some questions about how it works for them. How much will it cost me? How much time do I have to really invest in learning a new software program that's going to help me with customer contacts? And so you start to look at what those different solutions are. And the full part of this process is making a decision. What are the things that are going to help this system or this process or this space be most organized? And once you have decided on that, that's your solution. And that process can go on for a little bit of time. It might be that you actually need to spend a week asking people and surveying other people because there is so much to be learned from other people that are doing some of the same things. And in business, it's especially with a lot of entrepreneurs that are working out of a home-based business, you're very autonomous, you're by yourself, and you don't have that colleague to ask all of the time, unless you're, of course, listening to Sharon's wonderful radio program where you can ask and get some advice. But that's, ask other people. And those are really, really great. Oh, they're so important, and people are so willing to help. So, ask some other people. Find the solutions that are going to work for you. And so step number 4, once all your solutions have been decided, step number 4, and this sounds kind of silly to say, but it's to actually set it up. And it might sound like, well, that's pretty easy, you just set it up. But there are some very specific things you need to do during this setup process. And that is that you need to make sure that what you're actually putting in place, it's going to take a little trial and error sometimes when it's organizing a space. Does it really fit there or doesn't it fit there? Now that it's in there, is that going to work? How's it, let me simulate. Okay, now I put these things in a drawer. Let me open the drawer and put it in and take it out. Does that work? Yes, that does. Because if you simply set it up and you really don't test it out, you might find some things during your setup process that still need some additional tweaking. The other thing during the setup process, and I know I've talked about technology a lot, but if you do have a software program that's new to you that you started to learn, yes, set it up. Well, you need to purchase it, then you need to install it, and part of the setup process is to go ahead and do some tutorials related to that program.